Having been preyed on by my stepfather for 10 years, I'm always on the lookout for predators. I'm hyper aware of predators. And yes, the bathroom is a sensitive space where I believe that predators can prey. I still to this day get afraid in bathrooms and I'm always like listening and I'm watching for people's feet like under the stalls. If I'm in there alone, to get out of town, like you gotta go quick. I was taught an ideology that trans people, especially trans women, going into the bathroom are predators and that they could further harm my well-being and other females' well-being because they have these devious desires. I wouldn't say that I went so far as to believe that these horrible things were true, but I was wary of anyone that was not born female, walking into a bathroom. And that was because that's my background, right? As beautifully pointed out by this Twitter comment, male rapists have every right in the world. No person who was born male at birth needs to cosplay as a woman to go into a woman's bathroom to sexually prey on anybody. That makes zero sense. This climate and how everybody feels about trans people, really what you're doing is putting a target on your back. The logic isn't logicking. And I would encourage anyone who feels very strongly and very negatively about trans people to do more research, to read more, to watch more, to meet someone who is actually trans, to try to engage in the issues at hand instead of just making these blanket judgments and completely excluding a group of people. And I believe that trans women are women and that they should be allowed in, that they should be able to use the bathroom that they most identify with. It has been heartbreaking to see what's happening as of recent in Trump's military, that Pete Hegseth has banned all trans people from being in the military. This actually literally makes zero sense, other than you have a very specific ideology and you believe that what you're saying is right and that you have the ability to condemn others based on your belief system. It feels deeply, deeply wrong, and it feels deeply un-American. It feels like we're going backwards on our rights. From what I understand, and I was raised Catholic, very, very evangelical Catholic, Jesus took care of the poor, the weak, the sick, the disenfranchised. He didn't judge. He loved. He took care of those people. So to disenfranchise and to judge and to treat these people that make up 1% or less than 1% of Americans, to take their jobs away from them based off of an ideology that you hold, it feels like the most un-American thing possible. And I personally am pained that this is allowed to stand and that more people aren't saying anything about it. It's our jobs to stick up for and say things for people that have been disenfranchised and are misunderstood. I truly want to know the reason, pen to paper, why Hegseth and Trump and all of these big men have such a problem with people just being who they are. Why does it upset you so much? Are you such a small, tiny, weak man that you can't accept people expressing themselves however they want to? What is the rationale? What is the reasoning? I truly want to understand how the government could just completely excommunicate and fire people based off of their identity. You know, I thought that that wasn't supposed to be allowed in America. I, I, I'm very confused. If someone could please explain it to me, that would be wonderful. In the meantime, I'm here left just perplexed and utterly offended. Moira at The Guardian put up a very beautiful piece that I encourage you all to read about how not just trans women, but other women who have been born female will also be ineligible to compete in sports, which is just horrifying, based off of a testing, right? They're going to do tests, and then that's going to determine whether you're male or female. But some women who were born female at birth, who are more intersex, are now going to be excluded. Now we're splitting hairs. Now it's what is a woman? And as Moira so beautifully points out, It feels like the definition has to be weak and fragile and fit a certain mold to be a woman. And it seems like there's percentages out there as low as like 0.03% all the way up to 1.3 or 1.7. I've even seen up to 3.3% of people that are born intersex. They can't fit into a neat little box of, okay, this is a male, this is a female. Those women, because they're not doing this for men, right? They're not going to be testing men. It's only going to be those competing in women's sports. How are we here? How did we get to this point? From being a country that fights for equality and justice for all, not some, justice for all, to you can't be in the military, you can't compete in sports. And Americans are okay with this? You haven't looked in your heart or searched your soul? I don't think what we need now is more division or more hatred or more exclusion. I think we need more inclusion and love and understanding and trying to see where people are coming from. As a survivor, I've felt on the outs or misunderstood or alone. And from everything I've read with other trans people, it's a lonely life. So often they're told from their family that they're not going to speak to them anymore, their friends, their loved ones. Why would anybody subject themselves to that unless it really was how they felt, a calling in their heart, their true self? Can't everyone relate to going through life and trying to find your true self, your best self, your authentic version of self? It's just mind-boggling to me how quick people are to insult and say hurtful things. It's okay to disagree, but I truly don't understand cruelty and meanness. And that's why I wanted to speak out for trans people, because they deserve to be protected and loved. They deserve to be able to serve in the military. They deserve to be able to play in sports. They deserve to lead normal lives. And all of the statistics about women's sports is just so misleading. All of the Fox News stuff, it's wrong. There has never been, never, not one. There has never been a trans female that has won anything at the Olympics, ever. Not even like a bronze medal. They've never won a medal, period. There's one trans male who competed on the soccer team. This would go directly against everything that we've been taught. So for the Olympics to have to make this stand that's now going to exclude intersex people, trans women, it's horrifying. And it's not who we are. It's not who we are. The Supreme Court just agreed to take up a case that at a Catholic school, they can deny admissions to parents who are gay or trans. So because of their ideology, they can decide that these children are not eligible to be at the Catholic school. Isn't the teaching of Jesus to love? If you truly think that gay people are evil and so are trans people, wouldn't you want to help their children? It just seems so counterintuitive to me that you would want to exclude, again, an entire group of people because you're right. You know you're right. I think that's where things go wrong. We can have our differences. And I think that that's what I wish people would have for trans people, is just this open heart. You don't even have to understand it. But can you not be cruel? Can you not be mean? If it's because of your religious ideology with Jesus, can you be more like Jesus? I just want us to come together more. Like, play kumbaya, because it's hard, it's exhausting every day reading the news. Like, life is hard as is, and then so many people are being hurt and their lives are truly being impacted, and it's for what? I have to believe that at the end of this, good is going to come from it, that the pendulum is swinging very hard one way, and I hope it's because there's something really good on the other side. And I'm always going to remain positive because that's my choice. So here I am, choosing to be positive. I hope you'll join me. Like, subscribe, comment. See you Saturday.
Never talk about this. Never talk about. Never talk about this. Ooh.